Hello everyone, it's Kathy the Backyard Stamper, and I'm so happy to be here, and I sincerely apologize for last week. I had hoped to introduce my new series last Thursday, and I couldn't get my sound working. So that's how it goes, I guess, with technology. So, my new series is called Craft Your Stash. And I am really excited because I have been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for a long time. I started in 2002, and I was a demonstrator for, I believe, 9 years. Then I took a break and I came back 4 years ago. So I have been around a long time and I have a stash. So what I hope to do is show you some card layout, a template of a card sketch, so that you can reproduce the layout with no matter what supplies you have on hand. We don't have an unlimited income to buy all the new goodies that come out from Stampin' Up. They come out monthly now, between online exclusives and the kit collections. And pretty soon we're going to have the new annual catalog at the end of April. So, I want to show you how to use your stuff. And it doesn't matter if it's not available anymore. It matters that you have it and you want to dust it off and use the stamping supplies that you fell in love with. So that's what my series is all about. So my name's Kathy Schmitt, and I am the Backyard Stamper. And after tonight's video over on backyardstamper.com, you will be able to download a PDF with the measurements and the card sketch layout, as well as the example of the card that I'm making, so you can print it out and keep it in a binder. It's only one page, so it won't take up a lot of room, and save it on your computer or print them into a book, whatever works for you. All right, let's switch the camera. I'll show you this card. So this card here is what we're going to make tonight, and it's a fun fold. And what we're going to use is this stamp set called Dainty Delight. This came out in 2023, so it's not too old. But it had some paper that also was available, I believe, as a celebration item. So it came as a bundle, and the dies look, there's a lot of dies here. There's 16 beautiful vines and flowers. And just to give you an example, this is one of the stamps that you get, that you have in the set. And then I colored it and die cut it out with the dies. Some other examples with this die are these vines that you can, die cut in any color and make your own wreath or border or whatever you want. And it kind of reminds me of the recent heart bundle from the celebration that just finished. And it was a bundle, and it had this kind of a vine in the shape of a heart. So this will show you, if you cut that apart, you can use the pieces as decorations on your cards. So here's some that I actually found when I opened up the stamp case, because that's what I typically do. I will run some colors through my my die cutting machine, and then I'll just put them in this is getting all tangled up, hold on. I'll just put them in a clear baggie inside my set, and then when I open it up at some point in the future, I say, oh my gosh, I already have some stuff die cut, or I already have some stuff stamped. And that makes me very happy. So this set is one I was going to make my daughter's wedding invitations. And in the end, we decided to go with a different design. And it is a red rubber stamp set, and you've got all these beautiful images. And the other thing we're going to use tonight is called tailor-made tags. I love these dies. These are going to stay in my collection because of the awesome tag shapes. And you get 4 of each design tag. They're stitched. And you have the little grommet pieces, which honestly I don't use. But this is great. And so we are going to use this tag here from TaylorMade Tags. And TaylorMade Tags was in our annual catalog in 2021. So I'm going to work my way back to some of my all-time favorite wooden stamps. So if you guys stick with me on my Craft Your Stash series, you're going to get to see some oldies but goldies. So this is my PDF that you can download, and you'll see that I have the card sketch, and each layer is numbered, and then over here the numbers correspond to the piece. So you can cut any color cardstock you have, you can cut any kind of designer paper you have, and make your cards. So this is the card that we're going to make, except that I changed out the ribbon. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so we are going to use this designer paper, and it was called Dainty Flowers. And what I like about this designer paper, besides all the beautiful patterns, is I really love how this piece here are cards ready to go. So if you cut it at 4 inches by 5 1/4, you'll end up with a 3/4 inch strip in the middle that you can stamp some tags with. But if you do 4 inches, you'll have 6 cards from just this one piece, and there's 2 sheets of that. So I love it when Stampin' Up! Does this kind of a design where you can just cut it at 5 1/4 and then down. We're going to cut it at 3 inches, so I can get actually 8 cards per sheet on this. So what we have here is I have got, let me get my PDF out so I can read my measurements. Layer 1 is a 1/4 sheet of cardstock, 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. So each sheet of cardstock gives you 4 card layer 1. It's just a single layer, okay? This is Starry Sky, a retired in color. Layer 2 is 11 inches by 3 1/2 inches, and it's scored at 5 1/4. Or sorry, 5 1/2. And let me just crease that. This is Rich Razzleberry. So those 2 are retired. And layer 3 is Crushed Curry, and this is 5 1/2 by 3. So see how we're making our layers smaller and smaller, so we're gradually going down like that. And then the designer paper is 5 1/2 by 3. So in this case, instead of cutting it at 5 1/4, I did 5 1/2 because all of my layers match top to bottom, including the first one. Okay, so, and then I have a piece of, the inside is 5 1/2 by 3 1/4. And then I use just a scrap of basic white for my tag. So let's go ahead and put this together. And I like to make, first of all, you want to make sure your card is well creased, because we are going to glue that, and we want to make sure that that top seam stays right against this quarter panel. So let me get my liquid glue. And I'm going to go right at the top. All right, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put my fold at the bottom, because if I happen to like be off a little on my cutting, I can trim the non-folded side, but I wouldn't want to trim the folded side because then my card would fall apart. So I am going to put those together and tap tap to make sure the two top pieces match, and just eyeball my sides. It should have the same dimension on your sides, or you know, close. Okay, so that's like that. Next, I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to go ahead and adhere this. My designer paper. I love this paper. You can make this card with so many colors because it has pinks and greens and purples and yellows. I mean, it's just got a little bit of everything in it. So if you don't have Starry Sky, but you have some of this designer paper, use what you have. And I'm going to show you some other cards I made with the same layout that use current products. So you'll be able to see what other designer paper I used, and you'll see cards that look completely different with this same layout. So this has kind of a skinnier border, and I am going to just make sure they all meet at the bottom. Yep, they do. And I want to give that a press. This card, see, is so easy because I didn't have to do the stamping. That's why I like that layout idea. Now see what I mean about being a little bit miscut? So what I want to do is I want to trim, let's see, it's not this layer here is a smidgen. You know what, I'm going to put my glasses on just so I make sure I don't miss where I'm supposed to cut. Okay, so it's really a smidgen, I mean barely noticeable, but we'll go ahead and trim that off. And okay, and then I'm going to close it, and now I've got a little bigger of an edge, and let me grab a different pair of scissors so I can really cut good, because now I'm going through more than one layer. And honestly, the person receiving this card would have never noticed that little miscut, because look at how small the pieces are. So, you know, don't sweat the small stuff, right? They say. Let me just cut one little bit here. There. Okay. All right, so now my front of my card is done. Let's stamp the inside. So I'm going to use this Pussy Willow. I have this one for my tag. Oh no, that goes on the inside as well. And then Celebrate You is my tag. And they all come from the stamp set. And I'm going to use Starry Sky ink just because I still had mine. A lot of demonstrators, you know, resell their products right away so that they can kind of recoup their spending. So back in the day when I first started Stampin' Up, we had we were guaranteed, you know, at least 1 year, most of the time 2 years with our products that we purchased. And then over time, that time frame's gotten smaller. So I just want to prime up my stamps real quick. And that one is stamping good already. And so I just want to, I can't buy all new products every 4 months, every month. So, but I do, and I tend to buy what I like because I have my own collection, but I also do in-person classes, so I purchase what my customers like too. And if I fall in love with it, then it stays in my collection. And I think that's terrific. There. Isn't that gorgeous? So easy. Okay, so now I got that done. I'm just going to let that dry. Sometimes blue ink, blues and reds take a little bit longer to dry. And now this one is Celebrate You. This can be used for an anniversary, a graduation card, a birthday card, like a milestone birthday. Celebrate You. Perfect. Okay. Whoops, just dropped it on the floor. Let me grab that. Let's clean off my stamp because I don't want to get glue all over my fingers. All right, let me close this up and we're going to put this together and we will be done card sketch number 1 in my series. I'm so excited about this, you guys. Okay, let me grab my tape. And I'm going to just put a little bit. My Seal Plus, this is a new one. Man, it is so sticky that it was ripping all my paper, no matter colored cardstock, DSP, everything. So I found if I just take little tiny nibbles of tape, it doesn't tear it. Okay, so you want to put that right up to the top. And that one might need a little trim because 5.5 brings you to your fold. Oh, I think that looks pretty good. Let me just fix that one spot right there. It's kind of like cutting your hair. You gotta stop. Otherwise, you've got one side, then you cut the other side, and pretty soon you got none. Okay, so here is a blast from the past. Let's see how many of you guys remember when we sold our ribbon on spools like this. It was 1/4 inch grosgrain and it came in all 48 colors. And oh my gosh, I loved this stuff. So this is Summer Sun from way back in 2002. And this is what I'm going to use with it. I'm just going to make a faux knot. But I see what I still have some of my oldie but goldie, and you know, I don't want to just get rid of it. I mean, I do sell some of my old sets, don't get me wrong. And I also give away some supplies too, but if I can use them in my class or show my customers how to use the sets that they bought from me, it makes me feel good that they're using something they purchased from me. Okay, I got my little glue dot box here from the bees. And I'm just going to press my faux knot down and put it like so. This grosgrain was perfect for all these faux bows because it got a little hefty weight, so it really held up. So, oh, I got to put my brass butterflies on. And now this is still current. Hi, Kim. And let's see here. I put 3 butterflies, and I'm just going to have them mixed in with my flowers. Put one up here and one down here. There. And this card is done. So that is a really, really easy layout. And again, if you go over to Backyard Stamper and give me about 15 minutes, and I'll be able to, you'll be able to download this card sketch number 1, which has all your measurements on it. But let me show you what else I made. First of all, this, let me show you what the other cards I made with the same layout, and then these use designer paper that is still current and current stamp sets. So I have the lavender, and this is perennial lavender. So here's my card made with that. So isn't that gorgeous? And I used some of the sequins that were available during Celebration. So this is Blackberry Bliss, Pretty Peacock, and fresh, let me see, is it fresh freesia? Highland Heather. So that's my card for that one. Okay, this is Winter Meadow. I love this paper and stocked up on it, and then I didn't get a chance to use it. I really wanted to make a bunch of the sled cards with the sled set, and I didn't get a chance to. But how about this for a masculine birthday card? That is just using, see, this sheet here, you know, cut across, and you got the same idea. And see, I have some other little pieces cut here. So occasionally you get a deer with its head cut off, so that's not too good. But you have several that would work for this. And so this is Pebbled Path, Smoky Slate, and Pebbled Path again. This is from Simply Said, the stamp set. And so is this one, Simply Said. And so is the birthday wishes. So nice masculine card, and Winter Meadow doesn't have to be just winter. All right, here's another. Oh my gosh, I love this paper. Nests of Winter. And that card, same idea. It had the scene of birds flying around on the pussy willows. And this Thinking of You is from the Nests of Winter stamp set. And all I did was mask off. It said Thinking of You Always. So I put a Post-it note on while I was stamping it, so I could just have Thinking of You. And I just colored these in with my blends. But same idea. This is Cajun Craze, Night of Navy, and Crumb Cake. So everything I'm showing on the alternatives are current items as of today. Okay, and this one, this is Unbounded Beauty, and this paper was really pretty because it had all the new in colors that came out this year. And so you had Summer Splash, Peach Pie, Shy Shamrock, Pretty in Pink, and Petunia Pop. And so this one, this pattern did not have one of these sheets that only has the halfway, you know. So, but I just wanted to show you, you can do the same exact layout. Oh, I didn't put my inside in. The same exact layout using full sheet of DSP. So this gives you the opportunity to use up your designer series paper that we all are hoarding, because honestly we see so many patterns that we like, so we buy them, and there's 12 sheets and it's 12 by 12. It takes a long time to use those up. So this is Petunia Pop, Peach Pie, Summer Splash, and then this design is the peach pie again. This is from Simply Said. This is a petunia pop ribbon, and the in color dots. These here, the 2024-2026 in color dots. So that's what my series is all about. I'm going to show you how you can take a layout with the card sketch and use that card sketch to make a variety of other cards. So I think this is going to be fun. And if you have any stamp sets you'd like to, have me work with, let me know. If I have them, I'll be glad to do that. And like I said, I am going to be pulling out some oldies, including some wooden ones. I wanted to show you this paper here was the same pack as this one. And so in my class this last Saturday, we made a Happy Easter card, and all I did, remember how I said in the, sometimes in the middle you get a strip that you can use for sentiments? We just flipped it over, and this was on the back. So super easy, and now I have a bunch of Easter cards all ready to go, and the only stamping I had to do was my sentiment here and my sentiment inside. No coloring, no die cutting, super quick and easy. And so I also followed that one with these here. So when I was designing these cards, I said, well, wait a minute, I have this Easter card, so I did the same paper and made them this way as well, which is the same layout as that other one. Okay, so let me come back and say hi. So I hope that you're as excited as I am about this new series. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and we all have stamping supplies that we've had a while that are sitting around. And so what happens is, we, the demonstrators, we buy what's current so that we can show what's current and, generate sales. But in my case, I do that, of course, but I also teach classes twice a month at my house, and I might use retired cardstock, or I might pull out a retired stamp set. And my customers don't mind because they're there to make the cards. And I also know what stamp sets they've purchased from me, so I try to make sure that I continue to show cards that are cards that they can make with their stamp set, and then using current designer paper, current gems, current ink, something like that, mixing it up so everybody can win-win from it. So thank you so much, and I hope you have a great week. Now this Thursday I will not be live, so here I'm kicking off my new series. My first day was a disaster with no sound, rescheduled till tonight, and then my second day I will be gone at the Stampin' Up convention this week in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I'm super excited. I was gonna try to film ahead, but honestly, I'm still making my swaps for the convention. So, yeah. So thank you so much, Mary Ruth and Kim. I appreciate you stopping by, and this is what my new series on Thursday nights is going to be all about, crafting your stash. And please be sure to head over to backyardstamper.com so you get your printable with your card sketch number 1. And one more thing, in the new catalogs starting this past year, this catalog that's almost ending, they started putting card sketches in the catalog. So I'm going to pull some of those, but print them so that you can tell what the layers are, because all they did was the sketch. They didn't give us any dimensions, so I will be able to include the dimensions with my printables for you. All right, thank you so much for coming by, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. Take care. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel to help me grow.